Hi, welcome to lesson 26, session 4. Today's the refine session, the session where we take everything that we've learned about converting measurements using word problems, and in this case, multi-step word problems, and where we're choosing those units and making those conversions and then solving real life problems. And we're going to take all of that we've learned and put it all together in our nice, neat little package. And so we're going to go ahead and we'll be working on pages 547 through 550 in our Ready Classroom Math Workbook. So please go ahead and turn to page 547 in your Ready Classroom Math Workbook. All right, so this is page 547. On this first problem, it says this. Venel put together a model train with 25 cars. Each train car is 80 millimeters long. How many meters long is Venel's model train if there are no gaps between the cars? So if you took 25 of these cars and you put them all in order and assume that there's no gaps, that they're all like really close to each other. And we want to know how many meters long Venel's car is. So we know because it says so in the problem that we have to answer the question in meters. And we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 millimeters. So the first step that you're going to solve is you need to figure out how many millimeters long is Venel's train. So first you're going to say how many millimeters long is the train? So that's the first thing you need to figure out. So what is 80 times 25? And you're going to get an answer. Then you need to convert those millimeters. We're going to, sorry about that. We're going to convert millimeters to meters. So then you're going to get your answer, and then you're going to convert those millimeters to meters. Now, when you're converting from millimeters to meters, you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. What operation do you do? That's right, division. So make sure that you get your answer, and then you divide it by 1,000 to get your total answer. All right, let's go to the next page. So the next page says, Ed solved a puzzle 3/4 of a minute faster than Brett. Brett solved the puzzle in 135 seconds. How long did it take Ed to solve the puzzle? So the first thing you need to do is choose your unit. Would you rather solve in seconds or in minutes? Now, if you're going to solve in seconds, then you need to figure out how long 3/4 of a minute is in seconds. So you would need to multiply that 3/4 of a minute by 60 seconds to figure out how many seconds you have. Or if you want to work in minutes, you need to figure out how many minutes is 135 seconds. And then once you figure out how many, if you convert all, so say you convert both of them to minutes, you're going to know that Ed solved his puzzle 3/4 of a minute faster than Brett. So then once you find out how fast Brett did it in, then you're just going to, you're going to subtract 3/4 of a minute from this time, or however many seconds this is, you're going to subtract it from this time to get how much how long it took Ed to solve the puzzle. So choose your unit and then subtract Ed's amount from Brett's amount. Just depending on whatever unit you chose. I can't tell you what to do because I don't know which unit you're going to choose to do. So your answer is either going to be in minutes or in seconds. Number 3, Bennett exercises by lifting weights. He can lift 200 pounds 3 times without resting between lifts. Which equation shows a correct way to find the total number of ounces, and that's going to be N, he can lift without resting? So you need to figure out which of these makes sense. So we know that he can lift 200 pounds 200, and we want the answer to be in ounces. So remember, you need to convert these pounds to ounces. So if we're going from pounds to ounces, we're going to do what operation? From pounds to ounces. So then we're going to multiply that, multiply or divide, depending on what you need to do, this number, and then you're going to figure out what that is, and then multiply it or divide it by 3. All right. Jory chose A as the correct answer. How did he get that answer? So if A is correct, just show your work. If A is not correct, then tell me what you think Jory did wrong. Number 4, a football field is marked every 5 yards. Garrett ran from the first mark to the 11th mark. Which expression can you use to find the number of feet Garrett ran? So I drew a little picture here of how far he ran. And so each of these from here to here is 5 yards. So each of these is 5 yards. Now, they want to know how many feet. So if how many feet would be in 5 yards? Well, how many feet would be in 5 yards? Well, that would be how many feet feet are in 1 yard? 3. So you might need to figure out how many feet are in a yard first, or you might want to find out how many groups of 5 he ran, and then multiply or divide that by 3 feet based on if you're converting from, in this case, we're converting from yards to feet. Yards to feet. So when you're going from yards to feet, do you multiply or divide? Number 5, Mr. Wayne's class collected empty soda cans for a recycling project. Each of the 20 students had to collect 40 cans. So that means 20 students each collected 40 cans. Each can has a mass. Remember, mass is a fancy word for weight. Each can has a mass of 15 grams. How many kilograms is a can of cans did the class collect to recycle? So 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So I helped you out. I did a good portion of this for you. So we have 40 cans times 20 kids. So the class collected a total of 800 cans. Each of those cans weighs 15 grams. So this 12,000 is the number of grams that you have. You need to convert the grams to kilograms. I helped you with the majority of it. You just need to do this math here to convert your grams to kilograms, and then choose your letter. Number 6 says this: Susan is stacking boxes on a shelf. Each box is shaped like a rectangular prism and has a length of 2 feet, a width of 15 inches, and a height of 3 inches, as shown at the left. So here is one of the boxes. She will stack the boxes on top of each other, as shown below at the right. The space above the shelf is 1.5 yards high. What is the greatest number of boxes that Susan can stack on the shelf? So, first of all, they give you a lot of information in here that you just don't need. They do give you all 3 sides of this box, but when we're talking about stacking the boxes and we want to know how tall they are, we only care about the height of the box. It doesn't matter how wide they are or how long they are. We just want to know what the height of the box is. And we know that the height is 3 inches. Then we know that the space that we have where we're going to be stacking all of these boxes is 1.5 yards high. So we need to figure out how many inches is 1.5 yards. Well, we know that 1 yard is 36 inches. So how many inches is 1.5 yards? So you're going to solve that, and you're going to figure out how many inches is 1.5 yards. Then after you do that, you're going to take that number and divide it by 3, and the answer you get is going to be how many boxes high you can stack. And that's going to be your answer. So you need to figure out what is 1.5 yards in inches, divided by 3, and the answer is the number of boxes. Number 7. So on number 7, it's a 2-part problem. So it says this: Emma keeps track of the time she spends on a report each week. In the first week, she spends an hour and a half on research, 3/4 of an hour reading, and 45 minutes online. On an outline, excuse me. During week 2, she spends 2 1/4 hours writing, 45 minutes editing, and a half of an hour on the cover. So the first thing we need to do is part A, and it says, how much time did Emma spend on her report in the first week? Show your work. So we're just looking at the first week. So we know that she had 1.5 hours on research. She had 3/4 of an hour reading, and then 45 minutes working on her outline. What you need to do is you need to choose your unit and then convert your unit. So if you're going to if you want to convert these all to hours, then you need to figure out how much of an hour is 45 minutes. Or if you want these to become minutes, you need to figure out how many minutes is an hour and a half and how many minutes is 3/4 of an hour. Whatever you do, when you're done, you're just going to add all 3 of these together to get your answer. Can you add them the way they are? No, you cannot do that right now because you need to convert your unit. You can't add hours and minutes together. It doesn't work like that. So that's going to give you the total number of whatever you choose, either hours or minutes. Now, after you choose your unit for part A, you're going to get an answer and it's going to be either in hours or minutes. You choose. However, when you get to part B, the question says, how much more time did Emma spend on the report the second week than she spent on the first week? Show your work. You need to convert your week 2. So you're going to have your 2 1/4 hours, your 45 minutes, and your 1/2 of an hour. You need to convert all of these to the same unit you chose up here. So if you chose to convert to hours up here, you're going to also convert to hours here. And if you do that, that would be pretty easy because they both are 45 minutes. So then you would just, if you already converted 45 minutes to hours up here, you could just do the same here. So just food for thought. Then you're going to add all of these together. Then after you add all of these together, you're going to take your total here and then subtract. You're going to take week B and subtract week A from week B to get your answer. And that is how much more time did she spend on the report the second week than the first week. So you're going to take your total from week B and subtract your total from week A to get your answer. Make sure you have the same units. You cannot subtract hours from minutes. It just doesn't work. Finally, number 8 says Teresa has 800 milliliters of water. Sarah has 5 liters of water. Without converting units, tell why Sarah has more water than Teresa. And here's a hint. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So if Sarah has 5 liters of water and Teresa has 800 milliliters, without doing anything, how can you tell that Sarah has more water than Teresa? Then after you're done, I want you to go ahead and convert both of these. You can choose your unit and convert, and then you're going to tell me how much more water Sarah has than Teresa. So you're going to convert both units and then subtract Teresa's amount from Sarah's amount to get your answer. And with that, that is the end of this lesson, and you are good to go. Please go ahead, and if you have any questions, email your teacher. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.